HYBE can no longer hide this. Jungkook finally reveals the truth. Jin's reaction says all the silence has been shattered. Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, has finally spoken, and what he revealed has left fans, industry insiders, and even fellow members in stunned disbelief. What exactly did HYBE try to conceal for so long? And why did Jungkook choose this moment to expose it? The tension that has quietly simmered beneath BTS's polished surface has now erupted into full view, and Jin's reaction, raw, unfiltered, and emotionally charged, confirms that this is no longer speculation. It's real, it's happening, and it changes everything. For months, armies around the world have sensed something was off. The energy between the members during public appearances felt strained. Smiles seemed rehearsed. Interactions, once effortless, now appeared calculated. Rumors circulated, but no one dared to speak definitively until now. Jungkook's words, delivered with a calm intensity, pierced through the veil of ambiguity. "There are things we were told not to say," he began, "but I can't keep quiet anymore." That single sentence sent shockwaves through the fandom. What was he referring to? And who had instructed silence? The answer, though not named directly, pointed unmistakably toward HYBE. The company that built BTS into a global phenomenon now finds itself at the center of a storm it can no longer control. Jungkook's revelation was not a spontaneous outburst. It was measured, deliberate, and deeply personal. He spoke of decisions made without the members' full consent, of narratives shaped to maintain an image, and of emotional tolls that were quietly endured behind closed doors. "We were told it was for the good of the group," he said, "but sometimes protecting the group meant hiding ourselves." The implications of this statement are staggering. It suggests a long-standing internal conflict between individual authenticity and corporate strategy. And while Jungkook did not accuse anyone directly, the weight of his words was undeniable. The room fell silent. Cameras captured every flicker of emotion on the members' faces. But it was Jin, the eldest, whose reaction spoke volumes. He did not interrupt. He did not deflect. Instead, he looked directly into the lens and said, "He's telling the truth." That moment, now replayed endlessly across social media, marked a turning point. Jin's confirmation was not just a gesture of support. It was an admission, an acknowledgement that what fans had feared, that something was deeply wrong, was not just paranoia. It was reality, and it had been hidden for far too long. Why now? Why did Jungkook choose this moment to speak? Sources close to the group suggest that internal discussions had reached a breaking point. The pressure to maintain a flawless public image had become unbearable. And with military enlistments looming, the urgency to speak honestly, before time and distance made it impossible, became overwhelming. "We owe it to ourselves," Jungkook said, "and we owe it to you." The "you" in that sentence was directed at ARMY, the millions who have supported BTS through every milestone, every comeback, every controversy. Jungkook's message was clear. The fans deserve the truth. Not the polished version, not the corporate-approved narrative, but the truth, raw, uncomfortable, and necessary. Jin's reaction, though brief, carried the weight of years. "We've been through a lot," he said. "Some things we accepted, some things we questioned, but what matters now is that we're honest." His voice trembled slightly, but his gaze remained steady. It was not a performance. It was a reckoning. HYBE's response, or lack thereof, has only fueled speculation. The company has remained conspicuously silent, offering no immediate statement or clarification. This absence speaks louder than any press release. It suggests internal panic, a scramble to contain a narrative that has already spiraled beyond control. And it raises urgent questions. What else has been hidden? How deep does this go? And what will happen next? The dynamics within BTS have undoubtedly shifted. Jungkook's decision to speak publicly and Jin's unwavering support signal a new era. One where silence is no longer acceptable. One where truth, no matter how painful, takes precedence over image. And while other members have yet to comment, the atmosphere is palpably different. The unity that once defined BTS now feels fragile, tested by revelations that cannot be ignored. Fans are divided. Some feel betrayed, not by the members, but by the system that demanded silence. Others feel vindicated, their suspicions finally confirmed. But all agree on one thing: this is not the end. It's the beginning of a conversation that should have started long ago. What exactly did HYBE try to suppress? Jungkook hinted at creative disagreements, emotional exhaustion, and a lack of transparency. "We wanted to grow," he said, but growth was controlled. These words suggest a deeper struggle, one not just about music, but about identity, about autonomy, about the right to speak freely, even when the truth is inconvenient. Jin's reaction, his decision to validate Jungkook's claims, adds another layer. It suggests that the issues raised are not isolated. They are systemic, and they have affected every member in ways the public may never fully understand. "We're not perfect," Jin said, "but we're real, and that has to matter." The emotional impact of this revelation cannot be overstated. For fans who have followed BTS for a decade, who have celebrated their triumphs and mourned their struggles, this moment feels seismic. It forces a reevaluation of everything, from past interviews to behind-the-scenes footage. What was genuine? What was scripted? And how much pain was hidden behind those smiles? HYBE's silence is deafening. The company's reputation, once built on transparency and innovation, now faces its greatest challenge. Can it survive the storm? Can it rebuild trust? Or will this moment mark the beginning of its unraveling? Jungkook's courage and Jin's solidarity have set a precedent. They have shown that even in the most tightly controlled environments, truth finds a way. And while the road ahead is uncertain, one thing is clear: BTS is no longer just a band. They are individuals, each with a voice, each with a story. And those stories will no longer be silence. As the world watches, one question remains: what happens now? Will other members speak? Will HYBE respond? Will the industry change? The answers are not yet clear, but the conversation has begun, and it cannot be stopped. Stay with us, because every moment from here on out, every word, every reaction will shape the future of BTS, HYBE, and the global music landscape. This is not just a revelation, it is a revolution. And it started with one voice, Jungkook's, and one confirmation, Jin's, and yet the silence from other members remains, not out of indifference, but perhaps out of caution. RM, Seokjin.